I love my space games. The one I play most often is No Man's Sky. I haven't played it in a while. Well, I've played it here and there, but I haven't concentrated on it for a while. I've been waiting for Starfield from Bethesda Softworks to come out, which it now has. So yeah, we'll talk about that. First of all, I want to start by saying, No Man's Sky wasn't perfect on release either, to say the least. For the first year or so, probably 18 months, it was a bit of a wreck. It barely worked, didn't have any features, it looked awful. There was a host of problems with it. But I feel like Starfield hasn't got the same excuses, so it shouldn't be... I haven't played it yet, that's the thing. I've seen the reviews, and there's been really good ones and really bad ones. You can't trust any of them, so I'm making this video about how I feel. I'm waiting for Starfield to get some updates. Because as you can see here, No Man's Sky now has got... I mean, this is from 2018, this save file. So you can see here, it's got a base, it's got customizable character and ship. I've changed some of the colours and the pieces on the ship. I built that base myself, out of pieces available in creative mode, just from the off, so that's cool. And as you can see, you can take off, fly around, you can go sub-atmospheric, you can fly in the orbit, and all the rest of it. So I hope Starfield does a good job of that. I don't want to see... click to click, you know, I don't want to have to teleport from location to location. I want to be able to fly about at will, like I'm doing here. And the reason is, it's not even like a realism thing, because I've never, and I probably will never, really fly any sort of spacecraft. It's not realism, but it's a suspension of disbelief. As soon as you put me on a loading screen, teleporting from my ship to a planet, I remember that I'm playing a Bethesda Softworks computer game and not flying around in a real spaceship. So it's really important to me to have that in a space game, that I can fly, you know, I can land and take off. That's the main thing. If you can't land and you can't take off and you can't go from place to place, it's not truly an open world. And I'm really hoping that's what Starfield turns out to be. I know Bethesda like to concentrate on their story games, and they do have some good story games. I've really enjoyed the Fallout series, particularly Oblivion, you know, the Elder Scrolls games up until now. But I wouldn't say they were particularly good writers. They do have some poor writing there, so I don't think that's the main selling point of their games. The main selling point for me is the open world and that suspension of disbelief. So when you're building your character, you know, you can treat the world the way that you would as your character. You don't have to play the narrative. So yeah, like, I'm not looking for realism, but I want to be able to believe in what I'm doing within the world. And then when I leave the world, that has to be believable too. Otherwise, what's the point? It's episodic at that point. It's not an open world. For me, the thing is about an open world, you know, in contrast to an episodic game or a linear game with different stages or levels, an open world is not... It shouldn't be like you can't go here until you've got this item, or you can't do this boss until you're at a certain strength. You should be able to have a go at everything, and even with no tools at a level 1, have a good chance at survival and then running away, even if you can't win. That's really for me the essence of an open world. So I hope that's what Bethesda concentrate on. Don't get too immersed in writing dialogue and stories and stuff like that, because we all know the dialogue system can't support that kind of role-playing anymore. If they don't use or implement something like Fallout New Vegas had, then dialogue becomes unimportant, story becomes unimportant, and it's all about the sandbox, the physics, the open world. Going back to No Man's Sky, in fact, you know what, Starfield, I really hope it's not... I want it to be No Man's Skyrim. Perfect, that's what I want. Skyrim was such a great game and such a great open world, barely any loading screens, it looked amazing, everything was interactive, and you know, the story was a bit crummy, but it was still good. It wasn't the story that made the story good, it was everything else. It was the open world and the environment. You know, the writing was not that important, it was more about the voice acting than the writing, I feel. So, you know, that's kind of where No Man's Sky falls down. The narrative's okay, the story mode is okay, but it has no voice acting at all. And I feel like Starfield has to have voice acting in that open world, so not just, you know, a couple of conversations here or there that you get on repeat. I would really like to see AI conversations implemented in that game. Not sure whether they'll actually get to that, but that would be so amazing. So when you're flying about, like I'm doing here, you could land anytime you see a settlement or another ship or another player or NPC and actually talk to them you know, question them to get information or intelligence about your surroundings or missions or something that's, you know, that you can only find out locally. That would be really, really something not seen before. Well, it was seen before, but not seen done to that degree before. But I've got to say, I don't trust Todd Howard. I've been sold one too many lies, Todd. You know, 16 times the detail. Yeah, okay. Fallout 76 was going to be amazing. It wasn't. And I know what he's like. So yeah, I'm kind of in two minds. I'm hopeful that Starfield's going to be a good game. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's just going to be like the same engine, teleporting from place to place. It's not really going to be interactive, and the opening's going to be compelling, and then it will just degenerate after that. So hopefully I'm wrong about that. Hopefully it'll be exactly like this, where you can build your own base, forget about it, travel the stars, come back to it later. You've got all different kinds of combat. You've got random events that happen to you. Like I had one while I was recording this. You know, I didn't stop, but there was a freighter, a haunted freighter that appeared. I stopped that and flew around it, and I could have landed on that, and there's like a haunted infestation kind of thing of treasure at the end. So, and this game is 5 years old. This save file is 5 years old. So if this can be done 5 years ago, then I want to see Starfield come out swinging, do all this stuff better, not rip it off too hard. I mean, they are going to copy it, because No Man's Sky got a lot of things right. You know, everyone takes the mick out of it, and like it's a bit of a parody game now. But I mean, the truth of the matter is, a lot of it was good and got copied. So hopefully, Starfield can take those strong foundations and build up from there. Not get too carried away and obsessed with tweaking the graphics, and not have too many bugs. I don't want to see a crash fest, please, like I did last time. So yeah, that's the end of that. Oh yeah, and I want some vehicles as well, please. Yeah, Bethesda, don't let me walk around. I hate having to be forcibly walking everywhere, over encumbered, and then have a terrible menu system to go through while I'm trying to just survive the walk. Give me vehicles. Like, this was cool. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the Minotaur. This was one of the early vehicles you could get to build. So. And you can upgrade it with weapons or better engines and all that kind of stuff. But Starfield has a great opportunity to give us, you know, like pods you can attach to your ship, like escape pods and stuff, or just different vehicles. Since it looks like it's going to have a really rich, good, big open world sandbox with physics, so it just sounds like it's got so much potential. That's the thing I'm looking for. Starfield has potential, so let's hope they get it right and include all these things that I'm moaning about. Like, I want vehicles, but I want them to be better. Like, they're a bit limited here. I want there to be weapons. I want there to be underwater combat, not just space combat. I want my idiot neighbour to piss off with his motorbike so I can continue, thank you. Yeah, so, where was I? Oh yeah, I want all these things to be in Starfield, and I don't want to see too many bugs, because, let's be honest with Bethesda, they are the king of release bugs. Next to Rockstar, they do terrible releases, so I would really hate to see them land on, you know, a problem with this release, because we've all been waiting a long time for it. There's nothing like it. Apart from No Man's Sky, which we already all own. So yeah, I think coming up to the conclusion of this video now, it's about time we had a good space game like No Man's Sky but better, with a good story, with interactive NPCs, and a character building system worth our time. Something like Skyrim had as a base. Cyberpunk, I'm not so sure I like the character builder on that. And the extra options weren't good options, so I ended up not using them. But I'd like to see the extended, you know, the kind of side quest content focused on as well. Like here, I've got a freighter here that I can land on, I can take it over, I can attack it, blow up the engine, it'll sprout some little fighters for me to shoot, and then there's loot for everything you destroy. All these other planets can be landed on, everything you see can be travelled to. That's the great thing about No Man's Sky. Whatever you see, you can go to, and you can land on, pretty much. So the side content is a new game in itself, and I feel like Starfield has to get that right as well. So, in conclusion, I don't want to see bugs on release, please Bethesda. I know it's going to be 50-60 quid, that's fine, we swallow that. But I don't want to see a wreck. Don't sell me a half-finished broken piece of garbage, please. I don't want to see microtransactions. Sell me DLC as a new game, please. We're done with the DLC phase now, I think. And just don't plagiarise No Man's Sky. We've already got that game. It's good, we know. You could copy it and make another good game, we know. But we want something different, something new. You know, and something that we can just play in our own time. No Man's Sky is predominantly played online now. I would really like to see Starfield as a predominantly local co-op game, as well as online. So yeah, okay, you can have your story missions one player, but I want to be able to do them with my friends in my own time, without other people there. So that's something Starfield could definitely do. I don't know if they've got any plans to, but if they don't, modders, I'm looking at you guys. So yeah, we've got some great modders, and I think they could do a fantastic job on that, those ideas. So yeah, that's my conclusionary preview of Starfield from Bethesda. I'm going to go and not buy it. I'm going to probably wait a month or two and then do a review of it then when everyone's already played it. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope I'm right in some areas, wrong in others, and it's a great game. And you can all tell me what you think now that I've made this video. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you later. Bye now. Bye. You better believe as well, if they do get it wrong, they will fix it bloody quickly, because there's so much money tied up in it. And even if they get it wrong on release, a month later I will still buy it. 2 months later I will still buy it, as long as they fix it. So hope for that, and I'll see you next time.